It's wrong. It's wrong to say there are people that cannot eat. There are people that are stuck in war zones. Not everybody can do everything. Everybody says everybody can, from religions to jobs to life to war. Everybody can win. You're not going to win a war. You're not going to win a war. Nobody wins a war. People don't eat. They can't eat because there's no food. People use those words so loosely in commercials, in time zones, places. When you buy a car, everybody can buy a car. No, everybody can't afford a car. Everybody can't afford a car. Everybody can't afford a home. Everybody can't afford a place to live. Everybody doesn't live in a peaceful nation. Everybody doesn't live life. Straight people. Everybody doesn't. Everybody can't get married because they're gay. See, there's so many incidents where people really can't. There are many places in the world where children can't get educated. There's ISIS, the terrorist group. They won't let anybody do anything. They won't let anybody breathe. They can't do nothing. They can't do nothing because they're stuck as prisoners in a nation full of war, death, carnage, and terrorists. This functionality that everybody has, you hear it all the time. Well, everybody can do everything they want to do. No, they can't. They can't. We have to learn to face that. And not everybody can do what they want to do because it's just not possible. They don't have the money, or they're hurt, or in a wheelchair. Not everybody. Everybody'd like to get up and walk. Everybody'd like to get up and be well. Everybody'd like to do everything they can. Those words are wrong. The words are wrong. It's a wrong usage of the words. It's the wrong usage of the words because people can't do everything they want to do. The Yazidis can't live free because of terrorists. The Kurds are fighting for their lives. Palestine is fighting for its life, for statehood. Hamas is a terrorist group. Boko Haram is a terrorist group. There are beheadings. There are people that want to live to die. There are people who want to live that want to die. Can't do everything. You cannot do everything. Nobody can have everything they want. Nobody can have everything they need. Nobody can have everything. I never did understand that phrase. Everybody can. It's not the truth. Priests use it, and parishioners, and people in life. It's why you can do anything you want to do. Most people can't. Most people can't. It's the truth. You can't do everything you want to do. You can't make the world well. You can't stop the wars in Syria. You can't stop the terrorists. You can't stop the debt that's incurred by this country. You can't stop the debt that's incurred by the nations. You can't stop global warming. You can't get people off welfare. You can't get people well. And people with the Ebola virus want to get well. They can't because they don't have the proper medical facilities to do it with. They usually make makeshift facilities. You can't be safe everywhere. Children are not safe. Everybody can't be or do or live as they want to live. Freedom is a precious thing. Freedom is a precious thing. But these words everybody can is wrong. It's not right. It's not the way the world works. It's not the way the world works. Nobody can do anything they want to do. Nobody can do everything they want to do, except the super rich. They might be able to do everything they want to do. When you live in the real world, you have to face the realities, the realism. You can't do certain things. You can't feed children. 30,000 a day dying. You can't save every human life. You can't stop every act of violence. You can't buy a car when you don't have the money. You can't buy new cars when you don't have the money. You can't save your homes when you're thrown out and repossessed because most people can't. Most people don't have the money. There are people that take children to school and live in their car. There are people that are homeless. There are people around the world that have no homes, live in shelters, live in tents. There are refugee camps all over the world to get away from the wars and the death and the killing and slaughter. People ever think about that before they say the words? Everybody can, because everybody can't. And that's the unfortunate part, that everybody can't, but should be able to. But should be able to. And that's what's wrong with this world. It's too much one-sided. It's too much one-sided. It's like the war in Syria. No matter how much you bomb it, unless you're willing to put troops down on the ground, unless you're willing to put troops down on the ground in these nations, you're not going to stop. You're not going to stop. ISIS is going to continue to grow cells all over the place. They'll just take off their hoods and hide like Hamas did in schools or with children, around the women, or in hospitals when they bomb. They go where they think it's safe. They go where they think it's safe. James Fowler couldn't stop the beheading. Alan Manning couldn't stop the beheading. Timmy Duncan couldn't stop dying of roll-up because he was sent over to 103 fever. Where is it you can do everything you want to do? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it in this world that says you can do everything you want to do? It doesn't work that way. I can't be 21 years old again. I can't. I'm 56. Can't turn back time. Can't turn back time. You can't change the course of the world without changing the course of your life. But to say everybody can, car dealers do it, hospitals do it, everybody can be everything they want to be. Some people can't because they just don't have the money for the education. They don't have the college, they live in a nation where there is no school. That's why we have Teachers Without Borders. We have people like Mara who help children's rights. Everybody can, yeah. Everybody can have war. Everybody can have famine. Everybody can have starvation. Everybody can have hunger. People can hate. People can segregate themselves. These are things people can do and shouldn't do. And that's the difference. Is everybody can't be all that they want to be. And that's the truth of life. Everybody wants to be something. I want to be successful in what I do here, but it doesn't mean I'm going to be. It doesn't mean I'm going to be. Everybody takes chances. You can't leave your front door open anymore. Everybody wants something that they can't have. That's the way the world is. But all you hear is everybody can do this, everybody can do that, everybody can go to church. No, some people can't go to church. There are people in wheelchairs that can't get out of their house. There are people that are crippled that can't. There are people that are elderly that eat dog food. This is the world, man. This is the real world. This is the real world. Well, not everybody can. Everybody has to do without. Eat the crud of life. The foods that aren't healthy because they're the cheapest. Eat the foods that aren't healthy because they're the cheapest. Not everybody can. It's just the most foolish thing I've heard in my life. Where does it say everybody can? Everybody can. Nobody in Syria can walk down the street freely. Nobody in Lebanon can walk down the street freely without fear of death or terrorization. It's a simple fact of human life. Not everybody can. You know, people use them words so loosely. Everybody can have what they want in life. No, they can't. No. You know, you can preach all you want, but it's not going to give them, it's not going to give 30,000 children here the day to die food. It's not going to stop the Ebola virus. Not everybody can beat it. Not everybody can win. Not every team can win every game. Everybody can. It's such an easy thing to say. But when you face the realities of it, not everybody can. Not everybody could. Not everybody will. Some people will not accept that others cannot do what they do. So they blow it off and say, well, yeah, it's not my responsibility. The world is everybody's responsibility. The world is everybody's responsibility. We all have responsibility to this world. And like I said before, with Syria, unless people put boots on the ground, unless the coalition puts troops on the ground, they're never going to defeat ISIS. They're just going to run and hide in the crowd. Therefore, everybody can. What about the Yazidis that are slaughtered? What about the Christians that are slaughtered? Because of religion. What about the hatred, the bigotry, racism? Not everybody can stop it. Not everybody can quit it. Not everybody can see the world as a world. And until we see each other that way, it's just going to be everybody can't. It's just going to be everybody can't. That's the truth of human life. No matter what you do, not everybody can read and write. In fact, more than a third of the world can't read and write. People are used for slave labor. People are used to atrocities to the human race. The atrocities inflicted upon the human race is outrageous. From genocide to beheadings, slave labor, to being bullied, bashed in China, told what to do. Protesters in Hong Kong want pro-democracy. But they're not going to get it because Beijing won't let them have it. Nobody wants to let people be free. Not everybody can. We all have to accept it. We all have to accept it. That not everybody can be, do, or say what they want to say. There are people that can't do it. There are people that can't do it because if they say anything, they're shot, killed, beheaded, or hanged. So where is everybody can? I hear these words all over the radio, all over the TV, all over the news station. Everybody can do this. But I face the fact that I can't do what I did 20 years ago. People can't do what they did 20 years ago. Nobody can do everything. Nobody can do everything. Nobody can do everything they want to do. There are people that are poor and want to just put their family through school, raise their children, but they're stuck in gang zones, stuck in war zones. Mara fights for children's rights. The other guy, he also fights for human rights, trying to free children from the culprits that would have them be nothing but bomb packs, bomb carriers, brainwashing with this stuff. Therefore, they can't. Therefore, they can't. Not everybody can. And that's just part of human life. It's just a part of human life. We can't change the makeup of who we are. But we can change the makeup of the world. We can change the makeup of the world. And that we can't do. That's the one thing we can't do. Change the makeup of the world. And it's going to take work. It's going to take help. It's going to take everybody. But that's the only way it's going to happen. It's the only way it's going to happen. The world is not going to better itself by one person or two, but by hundreds of millions and billions. Because there are billions that do without. That's not without. More do, less don't. Because it just don't work that way. It just don't work that way. People who have a stable middle class or upper class life don't understand these things. That's why the bullying sets them off. Children are killing children. It's the truth of human life. 9/11 happened. Nobody can change it. Nobody can change 9/11 or how it happened. They can surmise, they can theorize, but you can't change what happened at 9/11. You can't change what happened in Boston. You can't change what happened in the world. You can't change what happens in Syria because Assad let ISIS get out of control. Al Qaeda let ISIS get out of control. Now they're a murder machine, incorporated slaughter. Not everybody can stop it. It will take everybody to stop it. It will take everybody to stop ISIS rising. Terrorists live and feed on fear until people are put there to stop it, so people feel safe. It's never going to end. You could bomb Syria endlessly for the next 4 years. You're not going to kill ISIS because they're just going to hide in the schools and the houses and the homes and the hospitals until this bombing stops. Because they know they're not going to bomb the schools and the houses. You can't do everything you want to do. You just can't. It's not possible. Not everybody. These words are so inflicted upon human life. We can do this. We can do that. We can do this, but nobody ever does it. That's the problem. Nobody ever does it. Nobody ever says, well, let's do this, and everybody does it. It doesn't work. It doesn't work that way. There's no such thing as everybody can. Not everybody is willing to fight the war in Syria. Not everybody is willing to fight the war in Iraq. Not everybody is willing to fight the war in Gaza. Bring peace to bring Palestine a state. But not with Hamas. Terrorist groups that hid in schools and hospitals. It's the same thing. It's what terrorists do. They don't care about the innocence of human life. The people of Syria cannot live. They cannot breathe. They cannot think for themselves. Because they're too busy being controlled, manipulated, and dictated to by terrorists, dictators. Talk about a man who says he has his own torture chamber. You can't lead a nation like that. Even our leaders here can't do everything they want to do because they're too busy arguing and fighting about how it should be done instead of just doing it. People should be fed in this country. There's 17 million hungry children who get some food. People are packing meals every day to try and feed the homeless in this country and street bound people. Most people think that kids who live in the street are street people. Just loving in the streets. It don't work that way. You're pushed into it. You're thrown into it. You're forced into it. It's like a drug addict without his drugs. Can't do it. Some people just can't do without that fix. Some people, no matter what they do, will never be able to live without that fix they've been on for so long. Change the words. Change the words. But we all should try. We all should try. That's the truth in life. We all should at least try to make the world a better place for all people. We should all at least try, and not everybody can, because it's the most meaningless sentence in the history of the dictionary, the history of the world. It's everybody can. Not everybody will have a Christmas. Not everybody will have a Halloween. Not everybody will have life. People will suffer. People will die. People will be tortured. People will be beheaded. Animals are butchered, slaughtered by people. No, it has to be we. We have to try. It has to be we have to try. Otherwise, it don't work. We have to try. We all have to try. Otherwise, it just don't work. It just won't work. It will not work if people don't try. Instead of saying everybody can. Because there are millions in Africa, millions in Syria that are displaced, living on water and rice, and can't do nothing because there's no money, there's no clothing, there's no homes, there's no housing, there's schools. It's just starting to get schools there now. But we all have to try. We all have to try. The words everybody can doesn't mean nothing. Doesn't mean anything. The government says it. Religion say it. Well, gays can get married. Well, we okayed it. Well, we all have to try to accept each other in this world. Whether you're black, you're straight, you're gay, you're Chinese, you're Syrian, whatever you are, until the day comes that we all try to accept each other, and try together. It's the only way it's going to get done. It's the only way it's going to get done. It's the only way it's going to get done. You can't do it by yourself. I learned that being here. I do videos here, but I can't do it all myself. Everybody has to help. Everybody has to be part of the answer, part of the solution, because I can't do it all myself. I do the videos because I want something historic here for people to understand. This is what happened 20, 30 years ago. And I can't do everything. Nobody can do everything. Nobody can do everything. Nelson, these are the most popular words in the world. Everybody can. Everybody can be what they want to be. Nobody faces the reality of the fact that in most nations, people can't be what they want to be because they live on $1 a day or less. There's sex trade, child molestation, rape. And not everybody can stop it. You can't stop it all. You can't stop it all until we all try together. They got this commercial now about abuse. It says no more. Well, we all have to ensure it together. We all have to do it together. We all have to work at it together. And that's the only way it's going to work. No matter what you do or how you do it, unless we do it together, as not only as a nation, but as a world, it's never going to change. It's just never going to change. People are going to hate. People are going to kill. People are going to bomb. People are going to have wars. There's going to be terrorists. As long as the people stay separated, segregated, declassified, it's always going to be that way. It's always going to be that way. There is no way to change it. There is no way to change it until we all try. We all try. If we all try, many will succeed. Some will fail, but more will succeed than fail. And that's the truth of human life. That's the thing to say. We should all try. We should all try to see the people get food. We should all try to see the war in Syria stop. The war in Iraq is stopped. The war. The major nations of the world should put their foot down to these nations and tell them, look, if you don't stop it, we're going to come in there and stop it. That's the only way it's going to work, is if the superpowers work together and the powers of the world work together for the betterment of all the world. For the betterment of all the world. Otherwise, nothing changes. You can say we can, but no matter how much you bomb Syria, Less troops are willing to go there. Less troops are willing to go there from the coalition in Turkey and other places and fight a battle. So they can't hide in hospitals. They can't hide in schools. Can't do nothing. Can't do nothing. We could take away some of their money, some of their power, make them a little bit weaker. But there's a bunch of brave people called the Kurds fighting ISIS by themselves, treated like shit by Assad. Same thing in Iraq, same thing in Palestine, same thing in America. There are people in this country that are treated like shit. People that die on hospital steps because they couldn't get welfare, they couldn't get medical care, they couldn't get medical help. People don't have money live with sicknesses. They learn to ignore it. It's not like a football player or another rich person who gets a cut or a broken limb. Excuse me. And goes to the hospital. There are people that cannot afford to go to the hospital. Therefore, they live with the injury. They live with the injury. They live with the pain. There's no such thing as everybody can. There's no such words until we all try. Until we all try. It's never going to end. It's never going to quit. It's never going to go away. Until we all try. Until we all try. All of us together as human beings, human life, human care. And every video I've done here is the truth. The fact, human life. And it reeks of blood, beheadings, death, rape, carnage, slaughter, hunger, starvation. The list goes on. There are people that can't, but there are people that can. We all can, but we all have to do it together. That's the simple fact and truth. We all have to do it together. Otherwise, it's not going to get anywhere. It's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to stop. It's not going to go away. It's not going to back up. We live on this world called Earth, where all of us have to live. We fight each other, we rob each other, we kill each other, we shoot each other, children shoot children, wars in 42 nations, starvation in many nations, hunger in many nations, no school in many nations. Africa's battling Ebola. Now we have Ebola here. Is it going to spread? Are they prepared for it? Like I said, unless we all try to comprehend the ways of the world, the damages of the world, the hurts of the world. We can't understand it. It's just, I hear that saying so often, I don't understand it. You know, it's easy to say you got money, you're living a good life, that everybody can be or can do what they want to do. But it's not easy to face the fact that they can't. It's not easy to face the fact that they can't. Yeah, see these Palestine women in the Congo get stabbed. They don't want to get stabbed. They don't want to get strapped down to a table and poked. Their hiatal to see if they're a virgin. Nobody wants their head chopped off. Nobody begs for death. Some woman, Cody Carlson, ended her own life because she was agonizing cancer. It took courage. She didn't want to wait till the cancer ate her to the bone. So she took it. She died. Sometimes we all have to face what we can't do more than we can and deal with it, change it. But nobody works to change it. That's the problem. Nobody works to change it. Nobody works. There are many people that work to change it, don't get me wrong. But you need massive help. You need massive help. You need governments working together. Russia, the United States, Ukraine, China, Japan, Syria. Everybody has to do. Everybody has to do. Everybody has to do their share. With freedom comes great responsibility. To that freedom. To assure that freedom for all people. To assure that freedom for all. This is why I fight for you. This is why I do this for. I don't do this for money. I don't get paid for this. I don't get paid for none of this. All the money that goes from here goes to the Food for the World organization because they need the money. I go to McDonald's to buy a cup of coffee. I put $1 in the bin. It's still not enough. Billions and billions and billions of dollars in charity. Billions, but trillions of dollars for weapons. 5.4 billion for weapons here, 5.4 billion for weapons there. But once again, you can't solve everything with violence. But some violence you have to use. Some violence you have to use. I've come to understand that. That in order to have peace in the world, some people just have to die. Like ISIS. And that's a sad thing to have to say. The Taliban, Al-Qaeda. It's a shame. These people, if they were fighting the war, would be one thing. But they're killing the innocent people. It's not what the Quran is about or will ever be about. And I'm not the world's smartest person. But I know one thing. Unless we all try, we're all going to fail. And the world's going to fall into a turmoil that's never been in before. Because you hear about the economy tanking. And that's the sadness of human life. And it's going to get worse. As the debts of the world get worse, the hunger of the world is going to rise. The more people won't be able to do it. The more people won't be able to do it. That's just simply the human truth. That's the human fact of life. Because we cannot all be. We cannot all do it. We're not all together. That's the biggest problem. We're not all together. We're not all the same age. We're not all the same quality. We're not all the same human rights. We're not all the same freedom. These things are vital to the growth and the humanizing of our world in the future. And unless you do that, it will never end. It will be a never-ending end war. Syria, years and years and years. Yasser Arafat, Saddam Hussein, Bin Laden, and the world just don't need any more Hitlers. The world just doesn't need any more Hitlers. It doesn't need people to tell people what to do. Most people can figure it out for themselves. Most of the world are good people. But it's the few that are bad that cause all the havoc for everybody else. They can, because they stand together. Well, we can't because we stand divided. And that's the sadness of life. And that's the failure of life. Until we all do, until we all say, we shall do it, we shall try. Can we do it? It's just that simple. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. But we all have to work together. We all have to work together. Not only for the benefit of our own lives, the betterment of our own lives, but the betterment of all human life. We have to ensure that all human life lives until we stop wasting money and letting nations kill each other without putting a stop to it. If the world banded together, if NATO banded together, they could stop all these wars in a matter of weeks. But the world isn't going to band together because nobody wants to deal with it. Nobody wants to deal with it because you take away their weapons, you take away their supply of weapons, you stop people from selling the weapons. There's all ways we can't do it. There are ways we can't do it, but people don't listen. People don't hear because people don't want to hear. Most people do hear. Most people do see. But just go about their lives like it's none of their business. What goes on earth is everybody's business. Everybody's business. It's everybody's business. We live in a world that's blockaded, segregated, and divided. The human race cannot survive like that. The human race cannot survive like that. Everybody looks for the end of the world, for God to come jumping out of the sky and cure the AIDS, wolves, or Allah, or Jesus. Until we all learn that we have to set the standard. Until we all learn that we have to set the standard for each other in life. That we have to set the standard for each other in life. Nobody can. That's just simply the human truth. That's just simply being humanly honest. That's just simply being humanly honest. Because we all can. Until we all work together. Until we all work together and we all say we can do it together. The only way we can do it is together. And that's the simple fact of human life. That's the simple fact of human life. God once told me until the human race gets tired of the governments blowing up and bombing and killing the world, nobody will ever listen. But if people listen, people fight, people do, you can end it. You can end it. You could take the power away from the governments. You could take the power away from the governments and give it back to the people. But people have to be, we have to be together. We have to be together. It's the only way it can be done. It's the only way it can be done. Since the human race, I mean the human race, no hates, no bigotries, no racism. This is the only way. This is the only way. We can all live in this world and exist without the wars, without the death, without the killing. But people have to want it bad enough. People have to need it bad enough. Then we do. We do. Then we can't do. Then we can't do. Then we can't do. For all. And then you'll see an equalizing world. The world will become balanced. So there is no people starving. There is no people. Sure, it's massive. There's 7 billion plus people in this world. That's why I named my site 7 billion human beings. I couldn't put the plus on there because there was no more words. No more word site. But we all can. But none of us can. We all can. None of us can. This is 7 billion human beings. Start the Thank you for watching.